Live, local, late breaking. This is Newswatch 12 this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6 o'clock on August 29th. Welcome to Newswatch 12 this morning. I'm Carlos Murrieta. We first want to turn over to Storm Tracker 12 meteorologist Sarah Kress for a look at our Friday. And Sarah, it's Friday. Vibes are up. How are you looking as we're heading into today?
It is going to look like a great Friday ahead for us. In general, we are keeping a close eye on smoke impact. Going to see smoke and haze throughout the region today, but tracking out on radar, not dealing with much. We do have drier air moving its way in, keeping a close eye on this low out because as it does approach the region, it is going to make us have some breezier afternoons, especially into your Saturday and Sunday for areas east side and into Northern California. But we will be staying on the dry side through your weekend, so that's something to look forward to. Mostly sunny skies, a very nice comfortable start to the day, so if you are an earlier riser, that's when you'll enjoy the starts of your Saturday and Sunday, but the afternoons will be staying pretty hot, especially into your west side valleys. Not triple digit temperatures, which is pretty nice, but still toasty for your summertime. And then we'll be keeping a close eye on that smoke and air quality impacts. But wrapping it back to today, you got to make it through your Friday first. It is starting off pretty comfortable into the 60s for the Rogue Valley. By lunchtime, you'll be into the 80s and right back up into the mid 90s for our highs today. Expect to see hazy skies at time, but some improvements later into the day before we do see it settle right back in overnight. Around the rest of the region, temperatures still staying steady compared to what we saw yesterday. Along the coast as well, still contending with marine clouds, keeping those high temperatures a bit cooler. Now, coming up in our next forecast, we are seeing some impacts to air quality this morning, so we'll take a closer look what you can expect around the region and when we'll see some more smoke move its way in.
And back on the fire watch this morning, we're continuing to track the Dillon fire as that fire is now burning at more than 4,000 acres and with no containment still. Fire crews worked throughout the night and were able to hold on to current structure protections and constructing lines. Both air and firing operations are being used to engage and manage the northern edge as it continues to grow. Additional resources arrived to the scene to support the south side of the fire, and there will be a public meeting today discussing the response and management of the Dillon fire. That meeting will be taking place at 4 p.m. and the meeting will be broadcasted and recorded on the Six Rivers National Forest Facebook page. And we're also checking in with the Emigrant fire. The fire has now grown to more than 16,300 acres and still 0% contained. It was started by lightning on Sunday, and nearby roads, trails, campgrounds, and recreation sites in the area are still closed. The U.S. Forest Service is planning to hold a public meeting tonight to address the fight against the Emigrant fire. The meeting will take place at 6 p.m. tonight at the main auditorium at Oak Ridge Junior Senior High School, and the meeting will also be live streamed on the Willamette National Forest Facebook page. And beginning on September 2nd, right after Labor Day, a section of Dog Lake Road will be closed for repairs. Due to erosion and road damage caused by snowmelt runoff earlier this year, crews will be working to repair the area before the winter season. Dent Creek Road or Quartz Mountain can be used as alternative roads. And continuing our coverage with funding cuts both statewide and here in the Rogue Valley, transportation districts are struggling with the impacts. A special legislative session is starting today to address those issues. Due to a federal freeze, lawmakers have to fill a budget hole to prevent ODOT layoffs. The freeze on federal funding also makes up half of RVTD's revenue. To fill the budget gap, Governor Kotek has proposed to raise the gas tax, increase vehicle registration, and DMV fees. But even if that proposal bill is passed, RVTD General Manager says that they won't see that money until next summer.
Our biggest challenge right now is trying to figure out how we're going to provide service to the community and not leave anybody behind.
Riders have to prepare for service reductions on September 2nd, like shortened hours, cutting Saturday buses, and suspended routes. And we're also continuing our coverage of the budget crisis at the University of Oregon and the growing impact on students and staff. The union representing student workers says dozens of dining employees and other campus jobs have been cut or replaced with work-study positions. Some workers say they were told they weren't being reappointed due to performance issues, but claims those reasons were never discussed.
The student workers who received these notices were told that performance issues were at the root of them. However, this was always non-specific. No students were, called in for meetings to address these concerns or anything like that. And it seems deeply unusual that dozens of students would be laid off all at the same time for unspecified performance issues.
The union argues these cuts undermine job security and say the decisions are part of how the university is handling a $25 million budget deficit. Faculty and staff unions have also warned that programs in the arts, languages, and religious studies are at risk. University leaders say that they are still reviewing options as layoff notices are expected in early September. Senators Ron Wyden and Jeff Merkley announced a $17 million investment into Oregon's rural airports. This is part of a bipartisan infrastructure law, and the money comes through the U.S. Department of Transportation, and it will support critical infrastructure upgrades at airports in LaGrande, Klamath Falls, Hood River, Hermiston, John Day, and McMinnville. Crater Lake Klamath Falls Regional is receiving the largest amount of funds at $7.76 million for runway and taxiway construction. And moving on to the crime alert, the Josephine Marijuana Enforcement Team executed a search warrant for an illegal marijuana grow site, resulting in arrest and the seizure of marijuana plants. Approximately 1,000 marijuana plants were seized and destroyed. Coy and lay Robert Kunlabau were arrested and charged with unlawful possession and manufacturing of marijuana. The property had multiple code violations, which may lead to civil forfeiture. And the Josephine County Sheriff's Office is enforcing a safe Labor Day weekend with a high visibility DUII patrol. Now, these operations are through the Oregon Impact DUII grant, which allows the Sheriff's Office to increase staffing for DUII specific patrols. The Sheriff's Office encourages anyone who plans on drinking to arrange a designated driver ahead of time or call an Uber. They also say to never allow friends or family to drive intoxicated. And yesterday, early morning, fire crews were called to a house fire that was boarded up and empty. When crews arrived, the fire was so heavy that it spread to the property fence line. But luckily, firefighters were able to keep the fire from spreading to other nearby properties. There were no residents in the house or any reported injuries. Deputy fire marshals are working to determine the fire's cause, and the investigation remains ongoing. And a local school district hosted a mini Olympics games designated to foster connections between staff members as the new school year approaches. Newswatch 12's Oscar Rodriguez had the opportunity to attend the games and see how they went.
Phoenix Town School District hosted its second annual PTS Mini Olympics.
Go!
The games consist of 4 teams divided by departments of facilities, Sodexo Food Service, Transportation Service, and the district office.
It was such a hit last year. One, it did bring our teams, my team was closer, but also our relationships with our partners was much closer, and we were able to work with them a lot closer this year.
Each team with their own unique team names and t-shirt designs. John McCaleb is the one responsible for setting up the event and came up with the specific games, like the egg toss, hula hoop ring toss, plus
from tug of war to an egg and spoon race, and it's all part of the district's plan to build a stronger chemistry with each other as the new school year approaches.
You know, it's just the camaraderie and just coming out, and as we begin the year, we a lot of hard work, and just the year gets to be kind of a little bit of a grind, and so this is a nice way to kind of start the year.
Superintendent Brent Barry participated in the games and said he enjoys in having this event as it allows everyone to relax and have some fun.
Running a school and being a part of a public school it presents its challenges, but this is the stuff you kind of remember, and when you compete and have fun together, and then some of that makes some of the tough things a little easier.
And at the end of the games, the district office team took the gold.
That looks like so much fun. Grants Pass has a new tap house, but this tap house is specifically tailored to honoring veterans and first responders. Formerly known as Herb's Restaurant and Event Center with Shenanigans Lounge, is now called Code 4 Tap House. The renovated tap house not only features craft beer, wine, and cocktails, but also Mexican favorites, juicy burgers, and breakfast in the morning. They also have a rotating lineup of local food trucks.